My bikes are clean! My bike is all clean! Yes! Clean bike! What is up, people? Out here in the Zorks of O's, as I like to call them. And I'm the lead in the group like that. Someone will pass me. I'm not really pushing very hard right now. I got the half working grid bike right now, so I'm not like just kind of 80%ing it through most of these turns, you know. This guy. You know, a lot of people ask me what it's like to be a motorcycle tech. I think there's a lot of young lung guys. A lot of lung guys, you know, guys with 2 lungs. Weird fucks. A lot of young guys have asked me about being a mechanic. What's it like? It's interesting. See? Now, where I went to school was just a community college. I didn't go to one of the big, I didn't go to MMI, I didn't go to some of the other ones out there. And some people, you know, a lot of people really think you got to spend the big bucks to go to the big school or you're not going to get the right education. And education isn't the problem. It's the fucking, the whatever you want to call it, the fucking certificate, the saying I went to MMI, saying I went to, you know, a Dallas community college to get my my shit going ain't the same. You go to school, like I said, the schooling, I know you can get just as good education from any one of the schoolings. The schoolings, like how I call it fucking schoolings. Yeah, I'm not redneck. Because from what I've seen, dude, from people who went to MMI, it's nothing against them, but I've seen plenty of I'll say this to start with so it doesn't look like I'm trying to sound offensive. I've seen very smart people come from MMI, and I've seen very stupid people go out of MMI. And in credit of my same school, I've seen people who graduated, you know, all the same, come out of fucking, what's it called? High school and be able to graduate and be a complete fucking retard. So it's, you know, I'll say at my school I do feel like they really are trying to teach you. It's not like a fucking rush out thing. Now I've heard MMI over the years has become sort of like this like rush through, get you in, get you out kind of thing. I don't know if that's true. I mean, that's all good if they're fucking teaching you. Wow. Woo! Hurry! Fuck them, we'll do wheelies. Well, I'm in the fucking middle of the road. I'll just assume to stay there and let him figure it out. That was, doesn't matter your education, like, you know, it'll help you get a job better if you got that MMI bit, but you could still get a fucking pro-ass job. Come on, crab apple! We're doing some wheelies. Look at this guy out front! Look at this guy! He crashed earlier today! He went into a fucking guardrail! What a fucking boss! What a boss! Oh my god, he's still wheeling! It's so fucking gangster. Crabapple knows what's up. So anyways, as I was saying earlier, before we did like an hour's worth of fucking stoppies and wheelies and good times, was that once you get your education for your school shit, and you actually, getting a job without the fucking MMI thing, yes, I will say is a little bit harder, but it may be worth saving you, you know, $20,000 to spend. What I spent on school was maybe $2 grand. Went to the community college, state paid for a lot of it. Got a lot of it back on taxes then on top of that. I paid very little money for school. So, point being is that you might find that worth it to you, not to have that loan, but to have to hustle a little more for a job. That's going to be a decision you're going to have to make. I didn't think it was that hard to get work. I really don't. Well, that's the problem to begin with, is getting to work, as I will try to explain. If you actually do get into the field, likely you'll start off maybe, not necessarily, but you may have to start off like me, and this may again been because I didn't go to a premier school. I went to a less known school, but I didn't start off doing straight as a tech. But then again, I still know many people that went straight into tech. Actually, come to think of it, when I got my first job, I wasn't graduated yet. That was kind of like an internship thing for me, but it was my real job. This setup thing. But setup was still fun. I mean, if you never worked in the shop, working in the shop is a really fun job. Like, I kind of discussed in another video while I was out here. I'm not really sure what order I'll upload them in, but how my first job was my best and worst job ever. Getting drunk at work, driving crazy fucking vehicles, acting like an asshole. That was a lot of fun. But at the same time, I ended up, and it was just bad luck for me, I ended up in a really weird shop, but it's still, there's something, if you're into motorcycles, working in a shop is one of the coolest things ever, because you're working at a place where people have the same passion as you, and so you're all working there together. I mean, you don't have to fucking explain, like, shit to your coworkers. Yeah, I fucking ride. My coworkers now, oh, you ride, you're fucking crazy, man. You never get that. They get it. Yeah, no, I'm fucking crazy. It's a fucking passion of mine that I have. Fuck off. Sorry that my passion is not fucking pussy dick shit and ballerina costumes. Sorry, I don't have a fucking fantasy football team. It's my fucking fantasy. My thing is to go out here and to have fun. At, yes, a risk at times. Well, fuck, what the fucking point of life if you don't? Sorry, it was a soapbox moment there, but you all get it watching this shit. It's fucking, having to explain to people your passion is the most annoyingest thing in the world. Because if they don't get it, they're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's something I figured out a long time ago. So, anyways, back on the fucking subject. Point being is that it can be one of the most fun jobs ever, even if you're having to do a bunch of dumb bullshit. Because at the end of the day, you still get to ride fucking bikes around. You get to have a lot of fun. Now, when you actually become a tech, which is what you're shooting for, there's ups and downs of being a fucking tech. And that has to do with how you get paid and what you're responsible for. Obviously, your responsibility goes way the fuck up, because now you're really fucking putting tool to bike, and you're responsible for that shit when it leaves the fucking shop. It's a very high responsibility. You can't, it's not all fucking Fruit Loops and beach balls when you're a fucking tech, right? And I want you to quote me on that, Fruit Loops and beach balls, yeah. Make that into a goddamn shirt. So the point is, yeah, like, you don't want to fucking, there's a lot more responsibility, that's what I'm trying to say. If you don't tighten someone's axle nut tight, if you don't fucking tighten oil drain bolt tight, if you do something, that sounds stupid, but little things, if you don't get the clearance right in something's motor, you fucking trash out a whole goddamn motor. And the thing is, like, beyond just being responsible for fucking actual mechanical shit, like, I scratched the rim one time, changing a tire on it. $600 out of my pocket is what that cost me, that dealer cost, off a big fucking cruiser, big fuck off, weighs 1,000,000 pounds, fucking wheel. And that's what the fuck happens. But that's nothing compared to the liability of somebody's life, which is in your hands as a tech. And you really got to treat it that way, And you got to look at the worst case scenarios with everything. If I fuck up this shit right here, the liability, if I fuck up their motor, something in their motor, then it locks on them. That's not just, oh, we blew their motor, now I'm responsible for someone's motor. That could very well kill the person riding it. Locking up motor is no fucking joke. So, something to keep in mind, when you go into that. It is a high responsibility job. Still though, it can be a lot of fun if you get your head about you straight and you're doing it right. The other thing though you're gonna have to fucking contend with is how you get paid. Now on the one hand, on the really upper super plus awesome side, there's days of being a tech. Oh, there's a bit of spot on the screen. Shut up! There's days being a tech that are fucking great. Saturdays are like my favorite day, man. You go in on a fucking Saturday, there'd be all these fucking walk-ins. People getting oil change, a tire, parts installed on their bike, like accessories that they just bought. This is easy to do shit, alright? That's like the stuff that's like, whatever. Like I said, there's days where you're getting paid by tech hour, and if you don't know how that works, basically a job is worth so much time. You know, you have a job that will pay, you know, let's say you got a fucking tune-up on a VTX 750, like a valve adjustment tune-up. That'll pay 2.5 hours, and that's what they're gonna pay. If the job takes you 7 hours, well then you're shit out of luck. That's where being a mechanic can suck, but I'll get to that more than in a minute. Where it's not sucky is when, like, those Saturday deals come in, you get a bunch of jobs that are relatively easy to pay too much. So you'll work like a physical 8 hours and you'll get paid for 13, 14 hours. Hey, you know, they're paying you $20 a flag hour typically. So when you work 8 hours and you get paid for 12 to 13 hours, that's when you're doing it big. And if you can do that every fucking day of the week, you're a fucking boss and a half. The days where being a tech is not cool begins like this. When you get some shit and you just can't figure out what the fuck is wrong with it. And that just blows. I mean, it's gonna happen though. You need to know that. If you become a tech, there's gonna be days where things just don't go your fucking way. You know, I've had a job that paid fucking an hour one time, because you get paid an hour to do an estimate. So you get paid an hour to do an estimate. I had one bike that took me 7 hours to figure out what the fuck was wrong with it. And that's just out of money to you. If you break something, that's out of money to you, like I said before. You know, here's these ups and downs, of course, to this job. Like I was saying before with the liability stuff, that's all on you. But there's days where you just might not make the fuck for money. What happened with me with my last tech job is I got to an appointment. Fucker. Tried to get my off switch. He snuck up on me like a fucking asshole! And when the season gets slow, unless you live in a fucking place where it's just year-round riding season, which if you do, props to you. But if you don't, there's a really, really slow time of the year where you're just not making any goddamn money. And you're trying to catch David and you're topping your bike out. So then you're not making money. Wow, that sucks, you know. The times of year, and then what happened to me is when we hit our slow season, it wasn't because it was necessarily the end of the riding season. The last time I worked in the shop, it was a fucking economy crash, and that's been a debilitating problem for being a mechanic ever fucking since. You've got a fucking economy that just doesn't support what you're trying to do. The economy fucking went out. I couldn't maintain the job, and they cut my hours down to nothing, dude. I'd walk in there, be at the shop for 8 to 9 hours, and be lucky to put in 2 to 3 hours of service time. And that's a motherfucker when you get calculating driving and taxes. I mean, you was losing money being out there, and it was a bad time. And I was really, really fucking worried. I didn't know what to do. And then, it's a bunch of bullshit I really don't want to get into. Like, I cut loose with that deal. But anyways, it wasn't okay. Honestly, I was going to have to get out of there anyway. The bad bit of it was such a fucking deal because I couldn't find a fucking job. And, you know, it wasn't the shop's fault, but I mean, it just was what it was. And that was a lot of people that time that couldn't find a job and had to settle for some job making half of what they were making, which for me, and the weird thing of it was, the reality of it was I was already fucking losing a lot of money staying at the shop. So even though I lost my job, it took me almost 3 weeks to find another job. It was like not having a job for a month and a half because of the money I had made. And that's the downsides to it, man. The winter time sucks. Economy times, you think they hit fucking car dealers bad. They hit fucking bike dealers way worse. And that's the ups and downs of working at a bike shop. That vlog took way too long. It'll be like a 3-hour-long vlog. Oh, he's crazy! Takes off super low, he's crazy. A lot of just be a complete, honestly, I believe in myself. Be a complete fucking jerk. Ignore them. Yeah! He sold them a lot. Subscribers.